Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn how to make this ruffle skirt with the slit on the side. This is inspired by our previous ruffle mini skirt, but this is totally different because we're using a different stitch, as well as there's a difference in the ruffles, as you'll see later on in the video. So this is how the skirt is shaped. In this video you will learn how to make this beautiful waistband and also shrink it to create a stretchy fitting, and then you'll also learn how to increase to cover up for the hip circumference, and also to make this beautiful ruffle at the base of the skirt. This skirt can be paired up with our bouquet crochet top. If you haven't yet checked out that tutorial, make sure you check that out so that you can make a matching set for yourself. And if you do, don't forget to tag me in your finished pieces on Instagram. And both patterns are now available on all my online shops. You can check that out in the description box below. And yeah, let's jump right into the materials and learn how to make this beautiful skirt. For the materials, we are using this yarn. It's a 4-ply DK weight yarn, so any DK weight can work, size 3 yarn, and then measuring tape to take your measurements. The measurements that we shall be considering for this tutorial are the waistline as well as the hip circumference. And you also need a darning needle to weave in your ends, and a pair of scissors, and the hook that I'm using is a 4mm crochet hook, as well as 2 stitch markers. So that's all that you need. The yarn that I'm using, I used about 3 to 4 balls, so just to be on a safe side, have around 600 yards of yarn for the full project. You will also need an elastic strand, as you can see here. Have an elastic strand around because it's the one that's going to make the fitted waistline for your skirt. So let's get started. We're going to start off with our waistline. That is the waistband of the skirt, and then we shall build onto that to make this beautiful skirt. So let's begin. You're going to grab your 4mm crochet hook and your yarn, and you're going to start off with a slip knot. So after this, you're going to make a chain of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And this is going to be the thickness of the waistband of the skirt. You're going to go into the second chain from the hook. So not this one, the second chain from the hook. And you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, and yarn over, pull through all. That's a single crochet in the US terms. So go into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all. So we are going to continue to single crochet in each and every chain all the way across our starting chain. Alright, so we are coming to the end of the chain and we have one more chain left. You'll go into it with a single crochet just like the previous chains, and you'll have something that looks like this. After this, you're going to make a chain of 1. This will be a row 2 of the waistband, and you're going to go into the back loop of the single crochet. So you go into that back loop of the stitch and then place a single crochet. So from now on, we're just going to go into each and every stitch into the back loop, and we're going to place 1 single crochet back loop only into each and every stitch. So this is going to help us create that ribbing effect, as you'll see later on as we continue working the waistband. Alright, so we've come to the end, and I'm placing 1 single crochet back loop only into the very last stitch. You should be having a total of 9 stitches, by the way, if you started with a chain of 10, because one of the chains was a turning chain. So we're going on to row 3 of the waistband. You're going to make a chain of 1, turn your work, and you're going to continue to place 1 single crochet back loop only into each and every stitch across So the number of stitches that you make for each and every row of the waistband should be the same. So if you had 9 stitches for your row 1, maintain that number until you come to the end of the waistband. The number of stitches for each and every row shouldn't change, it should remain constant. And then make a chain of 1 and turn your work. Single crochet back loop only into each and every stitch. So that's what we are going to keep repeating until this waistband, until the waistband can stretch to our waistline circumference. So my intended waistline circumference is 28 inches, and I'm going to keep working until this grows to 28 inches when slightly stretched. Alright, this is what I was talking about. As you continue working in the back loop only stitch, you're going to create that ribbed effect of the waistband. So you're going to keep working and growing your waistband until it can slightly stretch to your waistline circumference. And the waistline circumference we are considering is the upper waistline, because that's where we want our skirt to sit. So we kept repeating row 2 until we had our waistline measurement, which is a total of 28 inches. Once you get that measurement, we're going to join our panel into a round before we start working the body of the skirt. So you're going to make a chain of 1 and turn your work and go into the back loops and into the foundation chain of our starting chain and place a slip stitch. So back loop and then the foundation chain, slip stitch. So keep doing this all the way across. Right, so I'm joining my very last stitch with a slip stitch, and now we have a round for our waistband of the skirt. So you're going to turn your work onto the right side. This is the wrong side where you've worked the slip stitch. So you're going to turn your work onto the right side, and then you're going to make a chain of 1 and half double crochet into each and every row of the waistband. So a half double crochet is yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. So continue to half double crochet into each and every row of the waistband until you come back to the beginning of the round. Alright, so we're coming to the end of round 1 of half double crochet stitches. And after placing your last half double crochet into the last row of the waistband, you're going to go into the very first half double crochet on top of it and place a slip stitch. So insert your hook and pull through all. So you're going to place your work like this so that the exact middle is at the back of your panel. So this is what you're going to have. If we fold it over, this seam line is the exact middle back of the skirt. Now you're going to get 2 stitch markers. Get your 2 stitch markers and mark the sides of the skirt into that stitch and the stitch on the opposite side. So these stitches are going to get the increases that are going to make the skirt fit around the hips. So for the next round, which is round 2 of the half double crochet stitches, you're going to make a chain of 1 and turn your work. You're going to half double crochet into each and every stitch until you get to your very first half double crochet stitch. So place 1 half double crochet into each and every stitch until you get to your first stitch marker that you just placed. Alright, so I'm placing a half double crochet into the stitch before the stitch marker. You're going to remove your stitch marker and place 2 half double crochets in that stitch that had the stitch marker. Now you're going to go ahead and mark the second one, the last one you just placed. Just put the stitch marker back and then half double crochet in each of the next stitches until you get to your second stitch marker, which is this one. Alright, so we've reached our second stitch marker. You're going to remove it, and into that stitch you're going to place 2 half double crochets and mark the second one, or the very last half double crochet you just placed, and then half double crochet in each and every stitch until the end of the round. Alright, so when you come to the end of the round, you're going to make 1 slip stitch into the very first half double crochet of the round. Just go on top of it and place a slip stitch. We're going on to round 3 of the half double crochets, and this one is going to be a non-increase round. The one that we just placed is an increase round. The next one will be a non-increase round. So chain 1, turn your work so that you're working in the opposite direction of the previous round, and then half double crochet in each and every stitch until you get to your very first stitch marker. Alright, so we've reached our first stitch marker, and since this is a non-increase round, you're going to remove the stitch marker from the stitch and place only 1 half double crochet into that stitch and replace your stitch marker there into that stitch, and then half double crochet in each of the next stitches until you get to your second stitch marker. So just like we've done here, when you get here you just remove your stitch marker and half double crochet once in that stitch and replace the stitch marker into the new stitch, and then half double crochet all the way to the end of the round, and I'll meet you back at the end of the round here. Alright guys, we've come to the end of the round, and since this was a non-increase round, we haven't done any increases. So you're going to go into the very first half double crochet with 1 slip stitch into it, and then we're going to go onto our next round, and this round is going to be a round of increases, and it's going to resemble round 2 because round 2 had increases on the sides. So you're going to keep alternating between round 2 and round 3, the round of increases and the round of no increases, again and again until this length here can stretch to half of your hip measurement. So far we have a total of 17 inches, and our intended hip circumference is 40 inches. So I'm going to keep alternating between the increase round and the non-increase round until this can stretch to half of my intended hip circumference. So just to be clear, you chain 1 and turn your work so that you're working in the opposite direction of the previous round, and you're going to half double crochet until you get to your very first stitch marker. Once you get there, you place two half double crochet stitches into the stitch with the stitch marker and mark the second half double crochet stitch and go all the way across. Do the same here and wind up your round, and then for the next round you will just place 1 half double crochet in the stitches with the stitch markers, and then replace the stitch marker into the new round or the new stitch you just placed, and then keep alternating between the two rounds until we get that measurement that we intend to get. Okay, so I ended up alternating between the increase round and the plain round until the base of my skirt measured half of the hip circumference that I intend to make for. As you can see here, we have 20 inches. So from here we are going to remove our stitch markers and keep working until we get the length of the skirt that we want before we start on the bottom design. So just remove the stitch marker and start working plain rounds of no increases at all until you get the length of the skirt you want. I'll meet you back when I have my desired length, and I'll let you know how many inches that I ended up doing. Alright guys, we ended up doing a total of 33 rows of half double crochet stitches, and the total length of our skirt currently is roughly 14 inches, as you can see here. Alright, so we are now going to start on our ruffles, and you're going to go into the same exact stitch with 2 half double crochets, and then 2 half double crochets in each of the following stitches. So we want a drastic ruffle, like something very busy. So we are going to go into each and every stitch with 2 half double crochets all the way around. And I'll meet you back at the beginning of the round. Just continue to place 2 half double crochets in each and every stitch all the way around until you come back to the beginning of the round. Alright, we are coming to the end of the first round of ruffles, and I'm placing my very last 2 half double crochets in the last stitch. So place your 2 half double crochets in there, and then you're going to slip stitch on top of the very first half double crochet of the round. And from now on, we are going to stop turning our work every after a round, and you can see how the skirt has started being wobbly at the base. Just leave it as it is. Now we are going on to round 2, and this is the round that we are going to keep repeating until we get our desired thickness of the ruffle. So you're going to make a chain of 1, and into the same exact stitch you're going to place 2 half double crochets, and then you're going to continue to place 2 half double crochets in each and every stitch around the base of the skirt until you come back to the beginning of the round, where you place 1 slip stitch into the very first half double crochet of the round. So keep working 2 half double crochets in each and every stitch around, and you should be seeing a drastic change in the look of the skirt right now. As you can see here, you can see the curves have started forming. So keep working 2 half double crochets in each and every stitch all the way around. So when you come to the beginning, you just slip stitch in the very first half double crochet of the round, and then chain 1, 2 half double crochets into the same stitch, and keep working 2 half double crochets all the way around. So you can see what we have right now. It's going to keep doing that again and again until we make it all the way around the base of the skirt. So I'll show you what it looks like at the end of this round, and then we shall continue to work that same exact round until we get the thickness of the ruffle that we want for our skirt. And I'll also be letting you know how many rounds that I did for my ruffle. Alright guys, after your second round of ruffles, you should have something that looks like this. I'm going to do one more round of placing 2 half double crochets into each and every stitch, and I'll see what that looks like, and then I'll be back to show you what to do next. So I'm currently coming to the end of the second round of ruffles. And I'm still placing 2 half double crochets into each and every stitch all the way around. So I'm going on to the third round, and I've slip stitched here I'm going to make a chain of 1 and continue to place 2 half double crochets into each and every stitch around. So what I'm aiming for is to have that very beautiful busy ruffle that can match the petals of the bouquet crochet top. Alright, so continue to place 2 half double crochets into each and every stitch all the way around. I know this is going to take a while, but the result will be worth it, trust me. So I'm going to go in a short distance and I'll be showing you what the ruffle will end up looking like after round 3 of the ruffles. Alright guys, after a few stitches into round 3, you can see what we have right now as opposed to round 2. So you can see how busy the ruffle is becoming, and I'm loving the way everything is turning out to be. And I think this is perfect. So I'm going to go all the way around and finish round 3, and I'll be coming back to show you what to do next. Guys, I ended up doing a total of 4 rounds for the ruffle. I would have wished to do 5, but this takes forever. So do the number of rows that you wish to make. I did a total of 4. And what I'm going to do right now is to get one of these curves and I pull it a little bit up and I attach it using a pink strand in order to create that very cute slit effect. So just get one of the curves, it can be this one, but just get it on the side of the skirt and just pull it up a bit so that you don't distort the shape of the skirt, and get a pink strand, a very short strand, and attach it here with a double knot, and it's going to create this cute little slit effect on your skirt as you can see in the image. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you the final look of the bottom of the skirt, and then we shall go back to the top to do some final touches to our waistband of the skirt. Alright guys, here we are. After attaching this part with a very short strand, this is what your skirt will look like. It will have a slit effect, as you can see here. To have the slit effect on the side of the skirt. And now we're going to go on the waistband and we're going to reduce it a little bit. So you're going to get an elastic strand of about 6 inches less than your waist circumference. So my waist circumference that I considered for this skirt is 28 inches minus 6, I have 22 inches. So your elastic band or elastic strand should be approximately 22 inches or 6 inches less than your waistline circumference. Now you're going to go ahead and make a knot just like this. You can make a triple knot or a double knot depending on how your elastic strand holds. Mine is a bit slippery, so I will do a triple knot, not a double knot. I'll tie it 3 times. So we have this, and you're going to cut off the excess, but not close to the knot, something like this. Now we are going to fit this elastic strand into the top of the waistband, and to do this you're going to grab your yarn and your hook. Alright, we're going to start working a single crochet stitch all the way around the waist opening while weaving in this elastic strand. You can see it's much shorter than the actual length of the skirt. So what that is supposed to do is to gather it so that it becomes stretchy and create that fitted effect. So you're going to go into each and every row of single crochet stitches with 1 single crochet while working around the elastic strand. And as you work, you're going to make sure you pull on the elastic strand a little bit, because it has to go all around this length and it's much shorter than what we have here. So as you work, keep gathering a bit so that it keeps gathering the waist area of the waistband. Alright guys, we are coming to the end, and I'm still placing my single crochet stitches into each and every single crochet row of the waistband until we close up the gap entirely. Make sure you don't have any excess elastic strand laying around. And once you get done, you're going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the round. Make your slip stitch there, make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. And then we are going to make a double knot at the back of the skirt. But right now what I want to point out is you can see the difference between what we had before and what we have now. We have gathered the waistline of the skirt, and it's giving us a very beautiful glass shaping, especially for people who have a smaller waistline as compared to their hip circumference. This should be comfortably fine, and you have an elastic feel in the waistband. So from here, you're going to get your darning needle and weave in all your tails, or sorry about that. You're going to weave in all your excess strands. Weave in all the loose ends at the back of the skirt, of course. I don't weave in my ends at the front, so you can weave in your tails just like this, and keep getting rid of all the excess or loose ends. That you have on your skirt, and I'm going to show you the final look of the skirt. Alright, so this is our finished piece, and let's see the final look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to check out the written pattern, and leave a comment down below to let me know how you found this project and if you'll give it a try. And if you already did, make sure you tag me in your finished project on Instagram so that I can share you maybe on my stories. I would like to see the recreations of this piece from you guys. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. I hope you will be able to recreate this set with the bouquet crochet top, because it's a lovely piece. And yeah, thanks for watching today. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.